I'm just really um, touched by your experience. And it is just so, I mean, we've had other customers who have done surgery already, and some of them are already told that they need surgery, but they look for alternative before going under the knife because they've heard horror stories about it. And they somehow find us, and then the relief, right? So okay, so I have list of questions that I would like to take you through your journey, and so let's get started.
Yeah,
Let me start with Zara. Why don't you introduce yourself?
yes. I work as a nursing assistant in a nursing home um, for a year, but I've been in long-term care for several years as housekeeping activities, um, and I'm 42.
So a lot of physical activity during the daytime.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So how were you dealing with hemorrhoids before you found Source Earth? Like,
As a young mother, I gave birth to her July 7th, July 2nd, 2007, and the labor was very, very hard for me. And it started at like 7:30 in the morning and it went till about 8 p.m. at night. Hard labor, and I pushed for too hard and too long, and that's where it all started. And she said, "You have hemorrhoids now."
oh,
Um, and that when I went home with my daughter, I was given no aftercare. So I thought it was gonna go away. And in all my visits after that, I was given no aftercare, no instruction. And I just kept believing it was, it gonna go away naturally because they told me, yeah, you have a hemorrhoid, but and I kept waiting and I kept waiting. So
oh,
I in the process of that I became very depressed and hopeless. And
because the pain was just,
the pain was unbearable. I was always scared to have a bowel movement because it felt like glass, broken glass.
I
And
know that feeling is
yeah,
horrible.
and the problem is I think my I kept hoping, but it was very sad. And so my son, I became pregnant again, and my son was born in February 1st, 2009. And so I have two children, and I'm
And
so,
you're already suffering with
yeah,
2 years now by now.
yeah. And so I said, I can't believe this pain, it's still happening. And um in July of 2009, uh like a specialist with anal care, he probed my like bottom part and told me you have anal fissures too. And I was given no aftercare, so I got it and I kept applying it to my bottom, and it didn't help at all
So
until
you mean prescription of a salve kind of a thing, a cream?
well, it was a clear gel,
Mm.
and I kept applying it hoping it would help, and it didn't help. I just stopped taking it.
Yeah,
But the thing
it doesn't,
was,
anything topical doesn't work because the hemorrhoid issue is not topical. It is and it's not outside in issue, it's an inside out issue. Something happened inside.
yep.
Yeah. So those salves and creams and those things don't help. So I totally relate with you, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate with you on this one. My next question would be like, what did your daily life look? Did you work at that time? How did your daily life look like with this pain?
I was the stay-at-home mom um for many years. But I I was so depressed and I became mentally ill in that time that I actually was became homeless multiple times because I stopped believing that like the kids were going to be safe. It just got to be such a low sad point, and I
And
because
are you saying that hemorrhoid pain and discomfort is what triggered this mental health situation?
it was the I would say majority part because just having a bowel movement
Mm.
was incredibly painful.
Yes, and that's it's the I always tell people that mental health and digestive health are directly
Hmm.
related. Constipation creates bad mood, and bad mood also creates vice versa, constipation. So, wow. I mean, you are the walking example of that, that you had hemorrhoids and they were painful. And that's why we dread going to the bathroom, which creates constipation. And that all toxins being clogged inside us then go into and disturb all other systems. And the first thing happens is our mood and mental health
Yeah.
goes down. Yes. Okay. So you went through surgery finally. What did you expect that you will you will get out of surgery?
In 2009, he graded the hemorrhoids as a level 3. And so he said, you need to see me for 5 times. 4 of those times, you're probed. IRC, infrared coagulation, is what I got. Um, I was told it's going to be virtually painless. Um,
Oh.
and you're probed and you're burned and it cuts off the circulation of the hemorrhoid. And
Mm.
I felt like it was torture. It was very, very painful. And
And you
I
were,
didn't,
but you were told that it won't be painful.
he said it's going to be a sting.
Mm.
Um, and the only how I got it is I would bite my fingers as hard as possible for the whole treatment because you're burned in several parts of your anus. And the stick was so big in 2009. He pulled out a stick, it was this big, and it was a big round stick. And I was amazed how you could fit that big in an anal canal. But
This is just imagining is so painful. And then after
I
surgery, what what surprised you?
well, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It's not very long, but I couldn't go through the 5 visits. The 4 treatments was the infrared coagulation I was supposed to do, where you're burned in the anal canal and it's supposed to fix the internal hemorrhoids. And then the last was to fix the external hemorrhoid where they cut it off. But so that all stopped at that point, and then I had to go back in 2020 to try and fix it, and I had to go through the whole process all over again. And I completed the 5 visits. Thank goodness, because um, things started to heal up.
Mm-hmm.
But this time in 2020, they actually updated the procedure where the stick was like much more smaller of a stick, and the stick was not like this big, it was like this big.
So you went through procedures twice.
Yep.
So two surgeries, can we call them?
So yeah, it was different. You have to go through the whole process, what he says, 5 visits. And if you, since I didn't go through the whole thing in 2009, I had to do it all over again in 2020.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, they're short visits. They're up to like 15 minutes where he's burning, he's soldering, basically burning it, and which is incredibly painful. But it helped.
It
And
helped.
yeah, it helped. The anal fissures were healing, the internal hemorrhoids healed up. But the thing is, and I thought it was going to be gone forever. And I asked him, is the cure, it's gone forever? And he said, no, if you do not take care of your digestion, it's going to come back. It's not
Mhm.
a permanent cure.
Exactly. So that is one point I want to make there is that having surgery does not basically hemorrhoids that you once it's ruptured that area it needs maintenance. It's just like having a bruise somewhere and you keep scratching on it over and over in 2 days. It's going to stay there until you keep scratching. So if you want it to not scratch, then you have to be gentle. And so surgery is not the cure all um, solution, or rather,
Yeah.
would you think that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a daily we just have to take care of ourselves better, or else we don't want to go through that pain all over again, you know? So we have to have plenty of fluids, fiber. um
So would you call, so the reason you started looking for some help again after going through these two surgeries and procedures, why were you looking for something? Because it did not.
well, the last visit he said, I cannot get rid of your other hemorrhoid. I can only take care of one external hemorrhoid.
Mm.
So you still have one. And I was like so upset about that. I thought it was going to be cured and it was going to be gone because of all of the outpatient treatments. It was just, there's a lot of hope. You go in and every single time, but he said you have to make sure you have a soft bowel movement so
Mm.
it doesn't get worse.
So how did you first come across Source Earth?
I kept believing there must be a solution. If
Mm.
none of the people in the medical community have an answer, they cannot give me anything. I need to figure this out on my own. I kept Googling with keywords of the symptoms. And then I came across it on Etsy.
Mhm. That's where we started, yes. Um, so what made you decide you want to try this? Did you try anything else before Source Earth?
Um, I would say I was addicted to laxatives for a while, and
Mm,
I feel like those were,
quick fixes.
yeah, and it became this bad cycle because your digestion become weak if
Mm.
you become into this cycle of constipation to diarrhea.
Those laxatives are so, so strong and they are harsh on your intestines.
Yeah.
It's a quick fix, it's a one time, but when you have hemorrhoids, it, the relief is in the maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
I really appreciate because your products, after the surgeries in 2020, I was on a 1 week leave of absence from nursing assistant, and that's what I was told. That's the recovery time. But there's no way I could have gone back to work after a week. I could not walk. I was in bed every day. That's all I was doing. So I requested for another week. Um, but I had to go back on my third week, and I knew I was going to pass out from the pain because I wasn't healing right. The surgeon, he gave me a prescription of lidocaine and ibuprofen, which didn't help. It was very expensive. It was $43 for this tiny bottle of lidocaine. It didn't help. Um, by the way, the surgery is thousands of dollars for those 5 visits. My insurance did not help me out in 2020 because they considered it cosmetic. That's what they told me. And I said, that's ridiculous. I want to be able to have a healthy bowel movement,
mhm.
and it's,
And feel healthy.
yeah, and it's affecting, you have no idea how much it affected me mentally. I never felt safe with myself, with my children, all those years. But so they said they're giving you small discounts and you're going to have to pay for it. So I had to be on a payment plan for long term to pay for it.
So then when you decide, like what made you decide I want to try Source Earth? After you had already whatever you had tried.
So when I
What?
knew I had to go back to work and I was scared to death because I knew I had to be on my feet my whole shift. I I couldn't walk well at my third week. I was so finished through my first shift. I was able to walk okay and I was barely making it. But that second day, I received Source Earth and the swelling decreased dramatically, more than anything I've ever tried. And I was able to work every single day with less pain.
So you are saying that you received Source Earth and that day you took it, and the next day was just like you could walk versus you couldn't walk?
Well, I was walking on my first day from work with pain, lots of pain, and
Hmm.
I was just barely making it. But my second day, I was taking it and I could not believe. I was like, there was times when I had no pain. And then, yeah, and I took it every day after that for a couple of weeks, and I felt like my hemorrhoid was gone. It felt like it felt like everybody keeps this stuff a secret.
Oh gosh. That is why we are making this video, okay? Is I wanted to talk to you about this because off and on you have sent me messages and But it it boggles my mind of how many people out there think that surgery is the only option, and that uh it, it boggles my mind that we go out and buy hundreds of dollars of things, um just without thinking sometimes, $150, this, that, purse, shoes, whatever. But we don't spend enough time to find the solution that needs to help us from inside, you know,
Yeah.
because constipation totally throws us off our tracks. It just throws you off because it's like that garbage can that's outside our house. If that garbage was not outside of our house but stayed in every day for a week, how would we function? And this garbage is inside our body.
Yep.
And it's rotting there, and it's creating toxins and what else not, and it's affecting everything else. So, but we shove it under the rug. A lot of times people just shove it under the rug. Oh, I'm constipated. Because sometimes even professionals say it's okay to not poop for 2, 3, 4 days. And
No.
it's not okay. So do you remember? So you just said that you noticed that first change,
Yep.
right?
The
The
first
next
day.
day. First
The
day,
first day.
next day. That's It's crazy how,
It's what your body needs, you know? When your body needs it, I was like, I was so upset. I'm like, I don't understand how things are kept secret when they can help people. And you know what happened?
I don't think they
Also,
are kept secret. I think they don't have a discipline into studying that. That they I mean, when I went and to see my doctor, and she sent me home with, she's like, you can take Tylenol if it hurts. And they are like, okay, we don't, there's nothing, you're okay. I went home. I was passed out there, from pain. And these people have no clue. I called my mom, and in 30 seconds, she told me, you have hemorrhoids, honey. You have piles. So I don't think it's a secret, but it's not into their discipline of, studying this and observing this. And it's just, modern medicine is all about suppressing the symptoms.
yeah, it's very
I wouldn't
sad.
say all about it, but mostly suppresses. Is something hurting? Take Tylenol. But can we think about why it's hurting?
Yeah,
What about it? What is the root cause? And that's what Ayurveda does, is goes to the root cause.
yeah,
These ancient medicinal practices are all about root cause, and plant medicine may take, a little longer because it's going to the root cause to fix and then balance your systems.
yeah,
So you just talked about that there was this moment of the difference.
yeah. I not only felt physically better, not being scared to use the bathroom, and and that is a terrifying feeling if you're always so scared, you know. But now that I didn't have to worry about that, but I also felt mentally more stable, less depressed. But I also noticed my hives were decreasing, and then it disappeared, and developed an autoimmune condition called dermatographia because I was in survival mode for so long, and basically my immune system was shutting down. And your product actually your product actually decreased my hives.
Yeah.
And they basically disappeared, which is unreal because I was addicted to antihistamines before I found your product.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We never, I did not know about this, about your story.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I was researching your ingredients. I'm like, wow, this not only helps hemorrhoids, but it's actually healing my skin.
Yes, that's why I always say it's also on our website that don't take our word for it. Research each ingredient and see what, we have the blogs. So you were addicted to antihistamine because of your um
The hives
the hives.
that it was chronic
And
hives.
Source Earth product, you noticed that it helped.
Yep, absolutely.
So one of the reason is because there is no constipation. Because skin is the largest organ. And so that's the fastest way to get the toxins out of our body. If, we're not, if constipation is there, right? So this is what happens usually when, with Source Earth, that constipation is gone, it's all healthy, and the liver gets rejuvenated. So the toxins are taken out from the blood with more efficiency, and skin clears up. That's just a what you call it, by benefit on the side. That's what happens. Of course, the hemorrhoid pain is relieved, um, but the skin, a lot of times people tell me the mental clarity, the fog is gone, mental fog is gone. But you've
Yeah.
already told us that, you became depressed because of hemorrhoid and constipation, and Source Earth lifted that for you. So now the relationship with your body has changed, and the relief, what does relief mean to you now compared to before? How does it look like? What is relief?
Well, I feel that I'm not in survival mode like I was for so long. And I feel like I'm safe with myself because I was hospitalized several times um, during those years. Um, and it's sad because during those hospitalizations, I wasn't getting anywhere, it felt like, and I didn't understand and I couldn't communicate. I was so ashamed. I was so ashamed, and I could not say I I can't have a bowel movement. I you like you know what I'm saying? It is it's such a shameful feeling, and I just wanted to disappear. And so I feel like I'm not in survival mode, and it's such a great feeling of feeling safe, and it's connected to digestion.
Yes. And I totally relate with you in terms of embarrassment of addressing the issue, um, out of the rug, bringing it out from under the rug and talk about, hey, I can't have bowel movement. I can't use the bathroom. And you're just so afraid of judgment. So people, it's a taboo. People don't talk about it, but kind of endure the whole thing in quiet,
Yeah.
And that is why constipation with time worsens. Is is this something you see as a short-term fix or like a part of your routine? using?
Well, I think it's like my personality. I try something, and if it's working, I'll take it. But and then I'll stop because I'm trying to figure out how can I get this from food? Can I learn how to eat better so I can stop taking this pill, And um but I feel like your product it's very healthy and natural, that like it's a very good long-term solution to help my skin heal.
Mhm.
I know many people with my chronic hives condition, they are in severe pain and they're chronically addicted to antihistamines, but I'm like, I don't have to do that now. So, and the feeling of I don't have to go through surgery again because your product can prevent that. That's such a good feeling. My hives, well, these people that have hives, I know through the internet. In my research, there's a lot of people that has chronic hives, and I
Mm.
wish they knew about your product. And
How long have you been taking Source Earth?
20 2020, that was my last surgery series.
Wow. It's been 5 years that you've been using it and have seen all these changes. Um, do you see any difference when you stop taking it? You said you had skin issues, all that. So do you feel the difference between when you're taking and when you're not taking?
Yeah, my skin itches a lot more. My I got really bad acne on my chest, on my back, really bad, and that gets worse. My digestion is really like basically awful. Lots of bloating.
Mm.
Um, Bowel movements are not that good. Uh,
Bloating becomes an issue as we age, I believe. It's sometimes even when people don't have constipation, but they have bloating issue, and that is what they first thing they notice is like they feel like, is this like a bloating medicine or what? But it has multiple healing properties.
yeah,
So yeah.
and I feel like my the external hemorrhoid flares up a lot more, but when I do take your product, I feel like it doesn't even exist. So I try and tell people at work a lot, and online too, that the people that I know that are suffering, but it's also at work. It's very, very hard. And I work with seniors, and
That
I'd
was
say
my that
nine,
was my that was my question actually, that you work with seniors.
yeah.
Is this like the hemorrhoid or digestive discomfort, these kind of struggles, do you see there often come up?
All the time. I'd say 9 out of 10 people, 90% at least, they it's such a chronic condition, and I have talked to the people in charge and I cannot get through, and they keep telling me, you if someone wants that, it needs to be prescribed by the doctor or their family has to bring it in. And I
Mm,
said, but they don't know about it. How can you get it if they don't know? I don't understand how you can magically know something
yeah.
and the doctor
And
won't
seniors,
prescribe it.
yeah, I guess the people in the senior facility, they are depending on their family a lot more to make these kind of decisions. But
Yeah.
I'm very glad that you are spreading the word, because this is there is a solution and people don't know about it. And that's why we are talking, because we want more people to know about this, that this is a very easy solution. You
Yeah.
don't have to go through the agony of the suffering, and you don't have to endure all that one by yourself, because you know you need to know there are a lot of people out there. And this is just herbal. All everything is plant, roots, fruits, leaves, petals, flower petals, things like that are in this formula. And so it is just a lot of it is already in people's kitchen, like fennel and ginger, things like I like rose petals. I have it in my kitchen all the time because I use it for baking. I bake. So these are not, like medicinal things. They have medicinal properties. Every plant material has that, you know.
Hmm.
So it's the combination of this and the healing properties that Haritaki and Andrographis paniculata has, just amazing. And all things put together, and the way this is put together in the quantities that it's put together is just so gentle. Tell me about, is this gentle? You feel gentle relief, or is it like those laxative cramps?
It's very gentle and it's effective too.
Mm,
It's completely different experience.
then out there. Okay. So, what would you tell someone who is on the fence or thinking about trying this?
I'd say there's no, in my experience, no harmful side effects
Mm,
compared to all of the options I've tried. It's very safe and effective, and it can help more than one thing. It helps my skin, it helps digestion, it helps swelling, it helps so many ways. And especially if you have hemorrhoids, what a complete relief compared to other choices.
hmm. Yeah. So, is there anything else that I haven't asked? I had questions written down, as you can see, I'm going through them. But is there anything else you want to add that I haven't asked yet?
I feel like there's a cycle when people bring their loved one to a long-term facility. They go there hoping that their loved one will get better. But I don't see that happening a lot of times because they're given things that's not helping them. It's this chronic cycle of, um, I'm not sure what you call it. You're treating the symptom, but I'm like, I would get fired if I brought it in because it has to be brought in by the family member.
Mm.
And I wish doctors would prescribe it. There's only two ways to get it to that person. So,
This is not a prescription
yeah,
medication. It's an herbal, really bitter powder, which that is the reason why we have put it in capsule form so it's easy to take.
I
And yeah, and it is my grandma's remedy, which over the years, I kind of perfected in such a way that we can take it every day because of the multiple healing properties. That is the reason why I wanted to take it every day, whether I have hemorrhoid flare ups or not, whether I have constipation or not. Of course, if I'm taking this, I'm not going to have constipation and hemorrhoid flare ups. But for other things that it does, goes in and over time, it fixes the imbalances in our systems. And you feel this overall feeling of well being.
mhm.
I feel when I take versus I don't is the this bounce in my step, because all the toxins are out. I am regular, and flare-ups are at bay when you take this.
That's what I tell people as much as I can. You have to be your own advocate
Mm,
because who will do that job? I haven't seen in the medical field. Um, but that's my experience.
that's
You
yours.
know,
Yeah.
I've gotten more effective results when I research and advocate for myself.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much, Zara. I am beyond anything, I'm just so thrilled that you are doing so well from where you came from before Sorcerer. You know, all your struggles that were related to your health are taken care of because you thought it and you felt that it came from it was rooted in hemorrhoid situation, and how you down spiral downward, and then you've picked yourself. I'm first of all really proud of yourself that you endured all this pain and came through, and your words are still ringing that you have to advocate for yourself. I just am so proud of that. So thank you so much, Zara, for your time. And thank you for letting us use this for our website and other places, your experience, so people can can relate with you or hear themselves in your words.
Thank you. I really appreciate it so much.